Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another edition of Can't Wait Wednesdays here on the KB Radio Network. And this is the show where we preview upcoming releases of the weekend. How are we doing, everybody? We are in the middle of the summer movie season, yet today marks the first official day of summer, June the 21st. And it's well, if you live in southeastern Louisiana, you know that summer began maybe late March. It's been hot. And my God, for the last couple of weeks, it has been scorching hot. We've been in triple digits, I think, almost every day. It's been a pressure cooker. And well, we're not going to get into the weather reports here. We're going to talk movies. And this is indeed the summer movie season. We're in the middle of the summer movie season, and we've had a lot of movies come out over the past couple of months. Some big films that have did well in the box office. Then we had some that came out, some films that were expected to do game busters at the box office. I don't know why I couldn't get it out, and have it. And and that's every year. You're gonna have your films that uh come out of nowhere and make over $100 million domestically, and they was only expected to make 25 million off of that film worldwide. Is always something that comes out that just shocks the world. I don't think we've gotten that film as of yet, and I don't know if we're going to get it this week, but we have some films coming out this week that are interesting to say the least, and some TV shows that are even more interesting. And let's jump right in to our can't waits, and let's start with a TV show. In this instance, it's an adult animated adventure show that's popping on Netflix tomorrow, June the 22nd, and it is Skull Island. And if that sounds familiar, yes, this is based off of the Warner Brothers Monsterverse that consists of Godzilla and King Kong, and we got Kong versus Godzilla, and we're going to get Kong versus Godzilla 2, I think next year or the year after next. I can't remember, but it's coming soon. And we also had a film called Kong Skull Island, and I think that was a very, very underrated film. I enjoyed that movie a lot out of the Monsterverse. And this go around, we have a TV show that is based off of Skull Island, of course, named Skull Island, and it's animated, which I completely understand. And actually, that may bring a different feel to this franchise, doing something new, something different with this franchise. And budget wise, it makes sense. And so I'm all for this. This looks exciting. I saw the trailer the other day, and I was like, oh, that's coming out. I didn't even know they were making this. But the plot of Skull Island centers around further adventures of human characters that find themselves unintentionally on Skull Island and attempting to survive the giant-sized creatures that live there, which includes Kong. I'm waiting for this with fresh eyes, big eyes. I'm so anticipating this because when it comes to Netflix and their animated, especially their adult animated content on Netflix, I love it. I love all the adult content, animated content on Netflix. Very entertaining. Their comedies are gut busting funny. Their anime is awesome. All of the, well, I'm not gonna say all because I haven't watched all, but the ones that I have watched have been awesome, and I am fairly confident that this will as well. Skull Island release on Netflix this Thursday, June the 22nd. And while we're on the subject of uh blockbuster billion dollar IP cinematic universes, being adapted for television, we have something on Disney Plus that drops today. Actually, as you are listening to this, Secret Invasion is currently on Disney Plus. And yes, this is from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the ninth television series that's set in the MCU. And this show is based on the Marvel Comics storyline of the same name, the Secret Invasion storyline that ran in the Marvel Comics for a while. That was very entertaining. And I can tell y'all, I'm not spoiling anything. This is a loose adaptation. This would not be uh, the Secret Invasion from the comics. It was a lot that went on in the comics, and this is just the Cliff Notes version, I guess you can say. Is very very loose. Because there were so many characters that was involved. Actually, the whole Marvel Comics roster was involved in the Secret Invasion storyline in the comics. But even though it's not a beat by beat adaptation of the comics, this still looks amazing. It has an all star cast. First and foremost, we have Samuel L. Jackson returning as Nick Fury, Ben Mendelsohn reprising his role as Tolos from Captain Marvel. He is a Skrull. Not only Captain Marvel, but Spider-Man Far From Home, I think it was. Yeah, Far From Home. And you have Kobe Smulders returning as Maria Hill, Martin Freeman returning as Everest Ross, Dermot Mulroney as the President of the United States, Amelia Clark, yes, from Game of Thrones fame. She joins the MCU. Olivia Colman and Don Cheadle reprising his role as Rhodey. This looks amazing. I'm really excited for this. I don't think this is going to be a bubbly Marvel show that we've gotten in recent memory. You know, She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and even Hawkeye to an extent. You know, those were really, I don't want to say kiddie, but it was for family. I don't know if this is going to be family oriented. This looks more of a spy uh, thriller type show. This looks more gritty. Now I will be honest with y'all. I haven't seen a lot of, but I did read some reviews, and the reviews haven't been so kind leading up to the premiere of this show. But as I'll always say, even when I review a show or a movie, it's up to you. You know, just because I don't like it don't mean you're not gonna like it or you're gonna feel differently or whatever the case may be. So check it out for yourself, which I plan to do. But the premise of Secret Invasion goes as such: Nick Fury uncovers a conspiracy by a group of renegade Skrulls to gain control of Earth by assuming positions of power around the world, recruiting Everest Ross, Maria Hill, and Tolos to stop it and save humanity. I am excited for this. I mean, it's Samuel L. Jackson. Finally, we get Nick Fury in his own thing. He doesn't get his own movie, but he does get his own show. And when you think about it, it's long overdue. Samuel L. Jackson has been here since the beginning. Literally, the first Iron Man film, which came out in 2008, the first film in the MCU. Samuel L. Jackson appeared in that post-credit scene. Spoilers. he been there since the beginning, and everybody has gotten their own movie. You know, Iron Man has 3 movies, Thor has 4 movies, Captain America has 3 movies, got another movie coming out next year. You know, you got 3 Guardians of the Galaxy films, you got 2 Captain Marvel films. Everybody has got, even Black Widow got a movie, and she was dead. It was after she died. She got her own movie, and Hawkeye got his own television show. Why hasn't Nick Fury been in the spotlight? Well, no need to worry. No need to wait any longer. Nick Fury gets his own show on Disney Plus right now, Secret Invasion. I will be reviewing I'm a review. I'm still debating on whether I'm gonna do week to week because it's gonna be released every Wednesday. I don't know if I'm gonna do it every week or I'm gonna wait to the end to review the whole show as a whole. I'm still on the fence with it. We haven't got, at least the time of me recording this episode, we haven't gotten to Wednesday yet. I will know by then. And I'm pretty sure you will know. Just keep an eye out for the reviews. If I don't review nothing uh anytime this week for it, that means I'm holding it off to the end. But if I do decide, it's gonna pop up either Wednesday night or Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. But besides that, you can still watch the show yourself on Disney Plus starting today, Wednesday, the 21st. Now, on to the movies. Now, we went through 2 television series. Now it's time to get into some movies. And we're going to start with one that's not at the theater. This will be on Netflix starting this Friday, June the 23rd, The Perfect Fine. And this film stars Gabrielle Union and Keith Powers. And this looks like a cute little romantic comedy. I like Gabrielle Union, and you don't see her in a lot lately. And I've been wondering. I know she's married now. She has children now, and so I know she's busy. She's tied up. But it's good to see her hop back in front of the camera. And this looks funny. And the premise is even funnier. And the premise of The Perfect Fine is after a high-profile firing, Jenna's fashion career comeback hits a snag when she falls for a charming, much younger coworker who happens to be her boss's son. After sparks fly, Jenna must decide if she's going to risk it all for love or her career. This looks really good. It is a very interesting premise, and we can all use a little funny in our lives, and this looks cute and funny. The Perfect Fine drops on Netflix this Friday, June the 23rd. Moving on to the theater, we have 2 films coming out this week that looks really, really interesting. Very different films. I mean, very different. Uh, you can't get more different than these 2. And the first one comes from the mind of Wes Anderson, one of Hollywood's most unique and innovative filmmakers, Android City. And Android City is a science fiction romantic comedy drama directed and written by Wes Anderson, and it has the most stacked cast you will ever find in a motion picture. I mean, just for the mere cast, I am like super excited for this. Here's the cast. You have Jason Schwartzman, who we just, I'm not going to say watched, but we heard his voice in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. He was the voice of Spot. He's the star of this film, along with Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Jeffrey Wright, Tilda Swinton, Bryan Cranston, Edward Norton, Adrian Brody, Liv Schreiber, Hope Davis, Steve Park, Rupert Friend, Maya Hawke, Steve Carell, Matt Dillon, William Dafoe, Margot Robbie, and Jeff Goldblum. I mean, half of Hollywood is in this movie. And the premise of this movie is Asteroid City takes place in a fictional American desert town in 1955, where the Junior Stargazers Space Cadet Convention, organized to bring together students and parents around the country for fellowship and competition, is spectacularly disrupted by world-changing events. I'm interested to see how Wes Anderson goes at a science fiction film. Now, this would not be a science fiction film. I can't speak today in the traditional sense, but it do have a lot of science fiction elements to it. And look, I'm all for it. And who doesn't like Wes Anderson? Um, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I am the biggest Wes Anderson fan, but he did direct one of my favorite comedies of all time. Me and my wife love this movie to death, and it is The Royal Tenenbaums. And I love that movie. I will watch that movie every day if I if I could. Loved it to death. And off the strength of that film, I, I I'm a big fan of Wes Anderson. So there you have it. But this do look good, and especially with this cast, where can we go wrong? And normally when I say that, it does go wrong. But fingers crossed that it doesn't. Asteroid City falls into theaters this Friday, June the 23rd. And our final can't wait this week. This is a film that surprisingly has my complete and utter attention. I don't know if it's because it's Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know if it's because I like coming of age sex comedy films, and we haven't gotten a real good coming of age sex comedy film in a long time. I'm talking what, American Pie maybe was the last real good one. You know, they just don't make them anymore. I don't know why. That is untapped resource in Hollywood. That is some good stuff. But hey, we're getting this. No hard feelings. This looks hilarious to me. I laughed out loud with this trailer. And it was completely unexpected coming from two-time Academy Award winner Jennifer Lawrence to be in this type of movie, because I've never seen her in this type of movie before. This would be a type of movie that she made 15 years ago when she was just jumping into the scene, but she went straight into Academy Award nominated territory. I think for a while, her first 3 or 4 performances were nominated. She won 1 or 2. I can't even remember. I don't know if it's 1 or 2. I know she won for Silver Linings Playbook, or maybe it was just 1. She was nominated so many times. I feel like she won a lot. I know she won like 3 Golden Globes. Anyway, the point is, she's a well-established actress in Hollywood, and she's doing a raunchy comedy, and it's right on time for me. The premise of No Hard Feelings, set in New York, the film follows Maddie, played by Jennifer Lawrence, a young woman working as an Uber driver who is facing bankruptcy after her car is repossessed. Maddie accepts an unusual Craigslist post in which her new employers are parents who have noticed that their introverted 19-year-old son, Percy, is showing no interest in dating or having sex. In exchange for a Buick Regal, Maddie agrees to become their son's quote-unquote girlfriend and to date his brains out and help him to join adult life. This looks hilarious. And believe it or not, this may seem far-fetched and just out of this world. This is actually going on. This stuff like this. I think they call them helicopter parents or something. I forgot the terminology for them. But there are parents who children are just cooped up in their house, in their rooms or whatever, don't have a social life, and they'll hire people to get their children engaged in life, I guess you could say. And this is a real thing. If we have a comedy based around that, I'm all for it. Starring along with Jennifer Lawrence in this film, you have Andrew Feldman, Matthew Broderick, baby. Forrest Bueller himself is in this film. This looks funny. I'm telling you, that trailer had me dying laughing. And I can use a laugh right now, as well as we all can use a laugh right now. So, No Hard Feelings drops in theaters this Friday, June the 23rd. Those are I can't waits this week. we have Skull Island, the adult animated series, which drops on Netflix this Thursday, June the 22nd. Secret Invasion from Marvel and Disney Plus starting today. The Perfect Find drops on Netflix this Friday, June the 23rd. Android City in theaters this Friday, June the 23rd. Also, No Hard Feelings in theaters this Friday. Which one are you excited about? I have an interest in all five of these properties. Look interesting, looks like fun. you know, uh, this is kind of a cool off week, to be honest with you. We've had some big movies come out like for the past 4 to 5 weeks. Every Friday, something big. I mean, you know, huge IP. You had The Flash, you had Spider-Man, you had Transformers, you had, I mean, week to week to week to week. And so this is kind of a breath of just a take a breath week before we get cranked back up again. Because in the coming weeks, you have Indiana Jones, you have Mission Impossible. It doesn't stop. So this is more of the intermission. But this does look good, and I think No Hard Feelings it might do pretty good. You know, it's going to get a couple of my bucks, so there you have it. I would like to know which one of you are excited about. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also look me up on Twitter at KB Radio Network and on other social media platforms. Just look up the KB Radio Network. You can also look up the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Speaking of giving likes and love, don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever it is, you are currently listening to Can't Wait Wednesdays here on the KB Radio Network. Thank you for joining me this week for Can't Wait Wednesday. Can't wait to speak to you again. As always, I want you all to know that I love you. Continue to love one another. And until we speak again, you all be blessed.